Yeah.
We just saw the Million Dollar View.
Don't change the subject. But yeah, no, $1 Million View. We can include pictures if I can figure out how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we are. Again.
Saturday again.
Saturday excursions.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Last week before our trip.
Yeah, and then we're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
To get stuff up. Okay. Sorry, I don't actually know this trail very well, so
Maybe
I think we take a left.
Okay.
Just trying to give people their privacy, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very considerate of us.
of course. Okay, all right. So straight on to just jump right into the article that I sent you. What is it like being a woman? Oh, right, and being the primary breadwinner, bringing home the bacon for the family. What's that like? What? I mean, you read the article, so what kind of response did you kind of have to all that?
It's interesting. So the article talks a lot about like the societal norm, and we might want to stop again. Will you cut it all now? Or
Yeah, I mean,
again?
I'm gonna have to. I mean,
Okay, cool.
I can do that.
Okay, so
Societal norms.
So societal norms, and you know, I read that article, and I kept on thinking, no, I don't feel like that. No, I don't feel like that.
None of those things.
Not none of those things, but I think so. Hey, let's talk
so
about
what are the ones that you didn't?
that I didn't feel. So
That
I
you
think,
didn't identify with?
well, so one of them is, for example.
Oh, wait. Hold on. We should first say the article was about women. Yeah. Wait, no. Did we say that?
Yeah.
Did I say, okay.
Yeah.
I laid it out.
Women being the main breadwinner.
Yeah.
In the relationship, right?
Right.
I think one is obviously in our situation we don't have kids. So one of the comments that they make is usually you have the norm of like one is a breadwinner, the other one takes care of the kids, and so there's a lot of like that the partner that has to take care of the kids might have issues with the person that is making more money, blah 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 blah. We don't have kids, so that situation, that dynamic, I think we don't have to deal with. Like, oh, I was at work and you had to take care of the kids the whole time. Yes, of course we have dogs, but that's nothing like it. So they're pretty darn easy comparatively. So I feel like that piece wasn't really going to have a major impact on me. The other one is also I think in the situation that we're currently in, and I'm talking right now, not 10 years ago, is...
We're settled.
Yes, but also, I think 10 years... So one of the things also the article talks about, again, was what a woman does, takes care of the house, you know? 10 years ago, probably, yes, I was stressed because I was working and I was trying to do my best to do everything in the household. Because I felt like what I wanted to get done in the household, you were not necessarily going to do, or you wouldn't see. It's not because you were like, I'm too man enough or something. It wasn't like that. It wasn't something you paid attention to. And if I would, we keep talking while we're going to...
We can just let it go.
Okay. Easy, you guys. So it's not like you were too macho. It was more that you didn't necessarily see some of the things that mattered to me in the household. So I was trying to do it all, and I definitely stressed with that. But as we grew in our relationship and also
settled into our roles,
settled into what this will be, because for us it was very clear I will be the breadwinner of the house, that you definitely stepped up and started to take over way more household chores. And at this point, even right now, It's like I'm not allowed to touch the dishwasher. I'm not
Goddamn
supposed
right.
to take care of the laundry. So yes, I
Yeah,
still
because you
help.
fold my underwear wrong
Apologies.
every time. I don't know how you can get it backwards 100% of the time. Sorry.
Okay, so I think that also has been easier for us throughout the last few years. But I really have to, when I read this article, I kept on thinking, Ben is really great about this. Like, you're really supporting me. You're making sure that, like, you always remind me of, you are doing this to keep my back clear so I can focus on work and focus on the important things in that regard. So I don't have to stress to try and do it all. And I don't think a lot of, I think I'm very fortunate that you are thinking like that, and I mean, you have to kind of talk a little bit about how you feel, but you at least make me feel very supportive and supported, and you don't make me feel like you feel like less because of it, and that I have to worry about your
Toxic masculinity?
yes, yeah, that you're not that. You're
My long history of hitting on dudes pretty much kills that. Just as a hobby. I
oh
mean,
my gosh, okay.
no,
let's
really.
not-
No, what?
let's make this good.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I guess, yeah, and because of your support, I also don't feel like I have to prove something to other people. Like when other people say, "What does your husband do?" I'm like, "He takes care of the household." I actually don't.
Retired, disabled. Pick your tag.
Well, but I really, because I think how we are, I feel like we're very confident in us and our roles at this point, in supporting each other, that I don't feel weird when I say that. And I don't even question it. I don't feel like I have to prove the world like that it's okay, because to me it's normal and that's what it's supposed to be. And why is it any different?
Yeah.
And I know it is very different in the world in general, and I'm not saying that me,
Maybe like so many cuts in this.
it will look a little choppy, but it's
Where are we? Yeah, let's keep going.
so I guess the article was a way for me to keep on thinking that I think I'm in a very fortunate situation.
I mean, yeah.
In multiple ways, but in my situation, what I'm trying to refer to is I'm fortunate that you are the way you are, and not making me feel weird, not making me feel less, not making me feel I need to prove something, and that you and I, as far as I understand, are in a healthy relationship. That I see, not as far as I understand, as far as I see, that we're in a healthy relationship and supporting each other, and supporting each other, and it doesn't matter if you would be making.
I guess maybe or kind of in a. No, sorry. Okay. Defensive humor. Go ahead.
Yes.
Healthy relationship.
Healthy relationship, and that we can support each other, and it doesn't matter if you're the breadwinner or I am. It's just what the situation needs, and so yeah, that was. There were a couple of those points I tried to kind of call out in the article there that were said that I was like, yep, no, don't. I feel I don't need to do that, and and yeah, I don't even like. I also work at a company that I feel like is there are a decent amount of women in higher positions, and I am surrounded by some people, not just in my company but also outside, of women that have been or are in higher positions. That I also don't feel as weird about being a woman in a leadership role.
Just to clarify, you didn't necessarily grow up that way.
That is correct. I did not have any of that. So I think 10 years ago, my answers would have been very, very different. But I think in the last 10 years, I feel very, I don't want to say that. I think in the last 10 years, I have grown a lot because, I mean, again, and everyone that knows me has heard this, and I know you will be uncomfortable hearing it, but it is a lot of, it is you. You have always supported, like, making sure that I go the next step. Every time I had imposter syndrome, you were the one saying, no, you can do this, and you keep having, like, trying to focus on what's next. You got this. You can do this. Think about all the things you have already accomplished. Every time I was questioning something and the next step of the next ladder up, you know, it was always you saying, no, look in the mirror and see what you have accomplished. And then on top of that, also having people in our family, on your side of the family especially, and people that I work with that show me, like, yeah, what is possible and what you can do. And because you're a woman doesn't mean that you cannot do all those things. Just because there are more men in the room doesn't matter. And I was at this conference last week, and we had this Women in Tech breakfast. And there was a lady there, a little older, and she said, yeah, she's been in a room like this, and she was the only woman. And it was interesting because there was a decent amount of women there, right? So it's no longer that. It's obviously not 50-50, but I don't feel like I'm a unicorn anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's not intimidating in that regard. It's intimidating of what's coming and what would be the next step, etc. And I think that's where women are different.
I mean, right. I don't know if it's too much, but right now you've got a lot on your plate and a lot of stuff that needs to.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not questioning that the next step is coming around the corner. No, I'm just saying. I think what maybe the difference is between women and men is then that a woman is going to question it more. Can I do this? Am I really ready for that? Whatever. Then it could be 10 years from now that the next step comes. It doesn't matter. But I think women are very hesitant about that, questioning, are we even doing this right? And we need to do this perfectly.
Have I slapped into that glass ceiling yet?
Where a man probably, a lot of them, I'm not trying to say everyone, but I think what I've read at least before is that men are just like, let's bring it on, let's see how it goes. Where I just want to be 100% perfect, and I want this to be, I have accomplished everything before I go next. Where a guy's like, yeah, no, I'm not questioning. But anyway.
I feel like you're generalizing my entire gender now.
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
All right. No, it's fine. People do that. Sexism is just rampant in this world, so.
Yeah.
No. You have points, though. I mean, it is pretty common for men to have a healthy degree of bravado expected of them. You know, it's like if you're not alpha, go get them. Like, oh, I'm tall. You know, then, you know.
And so taking that back again.
Yep.
To the article again, and to our relationship and how I feel about that, that's what you're not bringing, right? And I appreciate that. That's actually a positive.
Oh, good.
And
very in touch with emotions and just how we're feeling, and
you are self-aware.
Yeah.
And trying to have other people also be the best versions of themselves, so you are trying to help them get to that point.
Sometimes a little toxically. I mean, I can get a little single-minded, but
a little preachy.
Shut up.
But in the end, your
Yeah.
your intent is good.
Hopefully.
And through all the conversations you and I have had throughout our relationships, I have been able to be in a situation at work right now in my career.
You've also gotten coaching elsewhere. Especially from mom, but my mom, not,
Yeah.
but other situations.
Of course, and I'm very open to
And-
feedback and
Yeah, and professionally. I mean, you've definitely had some good influences and good mentors.
yeah, and I think also half of that is you have to be open for it, right?
Yeah.
You have to be available to take feedback, and I'm not saying every day I'm taking feedback well, right?
Not just walking in the door and saying, "Oh, this is good enough."
Yeah. No, but again, that also goes back to yours and my relationship. Is I think I've learned that from you that I need to. We can
Learned, had it drilled into you, whatever. I mean, you know.
like it's like trying to be always better than yesterday, and some days are easier than others.
That's fair enough.
So that's what I took out of the. I did a lot of like monologuing here. I feel like, but
No.
what did you?
I mean,
when
the
you read
article
that-
is about women, so
Yeah, okay, I get that.
I
but
can.
I know you have opinions about.
Well, hold
this.
on. So when you okay, all right. So at least as far as how far we've come, so you know, I mean, for me, it is. Well, I mean, for one, it's great. I mean, you know, I get to have a lot of hobbies and just sort of free time, and but that, you know, that wasn't always like the case. I mean, for most of our relationship, it's just like, all right, well, you know, off to therapy, like all this stuff. For those that don't know, which, you know, I doubt we get any of those viewers, but yeah, you know, it's like I'm bipolar, and so it was just kind of trying to sort through and, you know, find a way to where I was able to manage, and you you were a big part of that. I mean, if I hadn't have had you out there, you know, doing your job and kicking serious ass and still taking care of us, and yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have had all of the opportunities we've had. So even though right now it's like, okay, yes, I get some free time, and I mean, I spend a bunch of my day just like, all right, get up, you know, get coffee in me, let the dogs out, and then dishes, laundry, vacuum, you know, I mean, just the basics, but then also go grocery shopping, you know, are we going to cook at home tonight, which you still do, because
Yeah.
I'm horrified of the kitchen, but
Well, you try and help with prepping.
sometimes. Yeah, but you know, it's a thing. But one of my teachers when I was in high school told me I'd be a great teacher, and my response at the time was, "Oh my God, why would I want to do that? There's no money in that." Which, looking back, was probably not the most, you know, kind thing to say to a teacher at the time, but she
Did you
meant,
actually say that?
huh? Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, but also, I had it explained to me by someone else that sometimes those that can't do teach. So, you know, I've spent the vast majority of my adulthood, at least, spending part of every day either reading about business or management or, you know, related fields, following along with tech. And so even though I don't necessarily have the temperament or the ability to go out and be big business. I feel like I've got a lot of background to draw on, and that is helpful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I guess I feel like I can contribute without, being in the room.
Yep. And you do.
So I think that way we have paired well. And also for me, I mean, you mentioned so Christina had a very conventional upbringing, dad worked, mom stayed at home, took care of the kids, 3 kids, go to school, do the sports, all this. I grew up with 4 moms and my dad, who, interesting guy.
4 moms?
Yeah. Well, so mom, and then, pause, turn here, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, right. 4 moms. My mom, my stepmom, my other mother, and then a previous other mother. So, yeah. So I probably, that was very unconventional, and at the same time, mom was the unicorn in business. So that, definitely. Sorry, I'm trying not to throw a whole bunch of personal information, but yeah, my mom was very high up in hospital administration, and then just the other parent, was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, my dad, so I had a lot of leadership exposure as I was growing up, but also weird. Dad was retired by the time I was 5. So, yeah. Retired from the military, retired completely when I was about 11. So, older dad. But yeah, so a lot of exposure to not just women and leadership, but just a lot of mother figures, and, that was probably an interesting mix. Tying that all back in, I think it's easier for me to not just be supportive, but have something to contribute.
Yeah, and when I say supporting, right, I think maybe I didn't really clearly call that out prior. Supporting doesn't just mean he's doing all the household chores and I don't have to do anything in that regard. It's also supporting me because when I come home from work and I am stressed, and he makes me, we talk about some of it, where I'm allowed to talk about it, right? Some stuff I cannot necessarily share, but talk just through it, think through my thoughts, and he will ask me questions of that just make me again go further and not just
and approach problems, situations, tasks, whatever, from different points of view.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can definitely get on your railroad tracks and lose a little perspective.
Yes, so it's not just take care of everything around me. It's also challenging me in the work environment, making me think different ways, and just talk about it. Even just asking and pushing a little bit. No, you got to talk about it so that I get it out and process it even for myself, which otherwise maybe I would not. So definitely, and you read a lot still, business-wise. And so you share some of those articles and that are meaningful. That otherwise I wouldn't even spend time reading. So, sorry. Keep going now.
No.
Just wanted to add that.
Yeah. So, so we kind of talked a little bit about what in the article didn't ring true, but what in the article were you like,
There's a spider on the thing.
hi spider, where'd it go?
I don't know. I'm going away.
Oh, he probably dropped.
Okay.
We're good. Christina goes screaming down the side of the mountain.
Like, I'm out, guys. So what did ring true?
Yeah.
I have a hard time with that answer, with that question, because it was a lot about the issues. So what rings true? I have a hard time with that one because I felt like the article was very focused on all the obstacles that there are. Oh, and another thing that it actually also talked about, which is interesting, is if you are the one that earns the money, you make the people think at least that you make the decision of how it gets used, and you're the only one that can make that call. And I was like, yeah, I don't know, that's not us. It's more you definitely have the dreams and wants and all that, and I'm more the frugal one, wants to save every penny.
I'm a spendthrift. Just throw it out the window. She's like hoarding under the mattress.
So that was very different, where I'm like, no, I don't even view it like that. To us, it's a shared bank account, and yes, of course, we talk about them.
Well, I mean, we plan.
Correct. But it's not that I'm like, I brought the money in, and so you have nothing to say. That's just...
Well, no, I mean, we've adapted strategies for that. I mean, so we've got different buckets that the money goes into. I mean, there's always the retirement stuff that goes away right before we ever even see the money.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But then also, I mean, we have individual fund money accounts
Right.
that we put a little bit of money in every
Right.
paycheck. That, you know, I mean, it's not like earth-shattering cash, but at the same time, if you save up for a while, you can get yourself something nice.
Yep. Right.
And I mean, those are the accounts that are more like, you know, this is my money and I don't really have to ask for permission. You know, I can think
Right.
through it, and I try and talk through my stuff with you, so I'm not like, oh, I'll just burn it all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna buy this thing. You know,
Yeah.
like careful. So
Go
we've,
here.
yeah, I think this is it. So we have adapted strategies for that, you know, we don't necessarily hear a lot of people talk about.
But also, again, with how we have communicated with each other, I don't think that one of us thinks they have the say over...
Well, we're pretty cooperative.
Correct.
At this point. So...
Right. It's a joint conversation. It's not one of us making the call.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. I don't know how other, like, you hear about other relationships. I think it doesn't happen everywhere like that. But
no.
But I also don't want to say nobody else does it like that.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah.
But we are.
Yeah.
In my opinion, we are equal. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic. So that's, yeah, I mean, those are ways that we've learned to make it work. mean, we definitely didn't start out all hunky-dory,
Yeah,
and
no.
but what, over the last 13 years of marriage, we've managed to find that balance. You know, that universal thing you can say in a meeting to get everybody to nod their heads sagely and agree. Yeah, it's all about finding that balance. Yes. But it's true. Kind of, sometimes. Plus, we've also, we've worked out goals, stuff like that. How do we get to where we want to be, and where do we want to be? What do we want, as opposed to just, it's a lot easier to get somewhere if you've got a destination. So I think financially that has been a boon, just being able to sit down together and say, these are the things that are important to me, us, sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
And this was one of the things that you really have pushed because of your, the history of watching other people, but also reading about it and your knowledge about that I had a hard time adjusting to initially. I didn't understand that. I didn't know.
Well, so, one thing that, not everybody grows up knowing they're going to have money. And I kind of did. And definitely spent a lot of time trying to figure out what you do when you have money. And not just, home economics 101 or anything, but also, where do you invest? What do you invest? Etc. So, yeah, definitely a different situation. Can I get you to hold this?
Yes.
Not for long. I just got a shorts thing. I'm gonna tighten this up a little. Don't look.
No, right now the camera should show all the beautiful surroundings.
It's gonna show me tying a bow tie in my, no, alright. Okay. I probably could have cut for that. We cut for
No, you can then move it over to see the scenery.
Yeah, scenery. We were in a little hollow where all you see is...
But the blue sky.
Oh, of course. Which is rarity at this point in the year. Okay.
But okay, so do we want to put a bow around it? Like, we obviously are talking a lot now at this point, I think, about our relationship and all that, which is obviously important of why I felt a certain way when reading that article. But did you have any other thoughts about the article itself?
So one of the things that it brought up is just the psychology of the male, or I guess it was pretty specifically cisgender, sort of typical couple, and how it can be weird for guys, but at the same time, I don't know. You let me pay at restaurants, but I also kind of did that because you're a stingy tipper.
I've gotten better, but yes. I come from Germany where you don't tip much because people make more money there. Yeah.
So, but, yeah. Stuff like that, I guess, I just got used to it. So, yeah. It was a good article. It's in Fortune, one of my favorite magazines. Love Fortune. Read that for
Hashtag fortune.
Yeah, hashtag Fortune magazine. Read that for decades. Oh, since at least the 90s. So, yeah, all right. Well, I'm starting to get sweaty. I could use a drink. Probably stop for a few. We're probably running out of tape and battery also.
All right, so long. Ooh. Bye.
Have a good one.